Hi guys, so early this week, or maybe at the end of last week, I had mentioned that I was wanting to work on a little blanket for Miranda that I started like 2 years ago, and then I didn't even finish. Well, I finished one square. It's a granny square. Super easy design or motif to learn. I think especially for a beginner, people said or were asked to go ahead and do the tutorial with it, either because you guys already crochet or you want to learn. I've already done other basic crochet tutorials during Christmas time. They don't get that many views, so I'm not really here for like, oh, I need all these views. This is just more for fun. Right now we're all home, or most of us, hopefully getting by, and things are, you know, okay. And I figure if you have any kind of yarn stash, or if you need to order things from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, they do have their online services. I have even ordered from Hobby Lobby just because I know in the store I can't get sometimes 8 bulk, you know, 8 skeins of one yarn or whatever, or one color. So they'll honor the same things they do in their store, 30-40% off, whatever they might have, even the 40% off coupon, and then a lot of times they have free shipping. So but my point for this video, what I wanted to do is be a stash buster. Like if you have something in your stash, like, because as crocheters or knitters, we always buy yarn just because it's pretty. I have tons of yarn. I didn't have to go anywhere to look for any of this stuff. It was all, I probably have maybe 8 of those big, huge tubs that you get at Walmart, you know, like those big storage tubs, just full of yarns, different types, different kinds, obviously different colors, weights and all that. So this, I wanted to be a very basic worsted weight yarn. That's your basic yarn, you know, like the stuff that you can even find at the Dollar Tree right now. I had shown you guys, had a haul. Let me show you real quick. I have some right here next to me. At the Dollar Tree, they have like pink and red and blue and all these colors. But again, if you don't want to leave your home, you can order things online. But these are $1. So I think this would be a cute thing to do with something like this. You probably need 2 of each skein though. So the other way I was introducing this, and you guys haven't even seen what we're going to be doing, is a crochet along. So a crochet along I think is nice for community to keep you motivated. Like, okay, this is what we're going to do this week. It's just going to be a few, you know, blocks or whatever. And then the next week we're going to change it up a little bit, add a few more. So obviously this is not going to be something for an advanced crocheter. This is the most basic thing you can just do at home. What I wanted to do is get people crocheting, right? So I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, I have plenty of yarn and now we have plenty of time. So I think this will be fun. Maybe you've never made a granny square because you see them like granny square, but they're so cute. And so the way I had began this a couple years ago was I wanted to make Miranda a little blanket that was just like rainbow colors. So I just started making it off the top of my head. Okay, so granny squares are very easy, and you'll see as we go through the tutorial. So in this video, we're going to do our first set of blocks. You're going to need 12 of a certain block and 13 of another. So my idea is to make a blanket that's 5 blocks square, right? So 5 across, 5 down. And so what happens with a cal is like sometimes you don't even know what you're going to make. You just trust the person, because I guess that's just how it is in the crochet community, you know. And then they might even offer, if it's like a big name crochet type person, they might have sets of yarn that you can just buy, right? So they have a couple colorways or maybe one colorway, and you can go to some website and just order it and they'll send you the yarns. But like I said, the point of this one I think is just for you to do what you have at home. So it's going to be very easy. You do not have to follow my colorway, obviously. I just wanted to make a basic granny square, and then we're going to join them as we go. So that's another thing. So crochet along is C-A-L, crochet long, which doesn't really make sense because and long, it's one word, but that's okay. So a cal or a C-A-L, and then I'm going to do join as you go. So it's J-A-Y-G. I started doing this when I did a, like I said, an 8-bit blanket. You know, I'll insert a picture of it right here. So that blanket took a long time. I haven't even finished sewing in the back of the little extra yarns that are just sticking out from where you end it. But they're so cute because all you do is make little tiny, basically like 2 round granny squares in the colors you need, and then you stick them together. And I'm trying to think if, is it one part of the square and then you make the second? It doesn't matter. If you guys want to know how to make those, I'll try to find some kind of 8-bit pattern that I can make really small that only takes like a few of them. That way you can learn the stitching. It is very reminiscent of what I'm going to show you right now, what we're going to be doing. But this is the block that we will be working on. This is what I'm going to show you guys today. You can do any colorway. And then any scrap yarn you have, but you want to have enough obviously to do the blanket. What's nice about this blanket is it's just going to be like a throw. It was initially for Miranda. That's why it's kind of loose. I wanted it to be airy. If you want it tighter, then do something different. But all granny squares are very basic. Some people do it this way, some people do it that way. It doesn't matter. It's always going to make a nice granny square if you follow whatever instruction you want to follow. So on this one, again, rainbow, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And these are all the same yarn. And the link will be in the description box for the pattern. I wrote it up myself. I am not a pattern writer, but I think it's pretty clear. But it's impeccable yarn, loops and thread from, Michaels. This stuff is like $2. It is plenty to make the 5x5 blanket. If you want to add it more, you want to make it for a bedspread or, for like a twin size bed, just keep adding. That's what's so sweet about this. Like as you join as you go, you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I do want it to be a little bigger. Okay, add another square onto it, and the length and the width, add 3 more rows. It doesn't matter because you can stop whenever you want to. So that's what's kind of nice about this. So we're going to do it, that it's going to be kind of quick. I think I did these in 3 days, you guys. I already have all the blocks made. So it's been very hard for me to wait to have a moment to talk to you guys to do the video because I'm like, I want to get going on this. So what I'm going to do in the meantime while you guys are crocheting along, because I already have the blocks made, is sew in my ends because that's another part that's kind of a pain. I'm not going to lie, but hopefully you guys will be interested in this. And so okay, real quickly about the colors. These are 6 different colors and I'm going to join it with black yarn all around, okay? So my idea, and you can go to see the pattern, is basically I'm going to do on this colorway and then I'm going to do on the opposite colorway. So it's going to start with purple going out, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Now let's say you only have 3 colors in your stash. All right, cool. So 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3 again. And in the next video, you should do 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so just opposite of whatever you did is going to be the opposite. This, you have some variation of color. You don't have to do that. You can make them all one way. It doesn't matter. It's your blanket. But hopefully you guys will learn how to make a granny square. They're super quick. This one works up super quick because of the way I made it. And so hopefully it's something you guys are interested in, like I said. So the link will be there for the pattern, where I'm going to show you how to make this one. In the next video, I'll show you how to make the other one, which is basically the same, but just a different colorway. So it'll just be a check-in to say hi and make sure you guys are continuing making your blocks. And then we'll go from there. Now, like I said, you'll need 12 of one and 13 of the other. So on this one, I'm going to use 12 of this one because I do like the way it looks with the red on the outside. So I'm making more of the ones that have red on the outer edge. So I need 12 of this one and then I need 13 of the other colorway. Let's say you only have 2 colors at home. Okay, so do that and then you need that 3rd color for joining. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and the next one should be 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Just opposite, right? Just to have some variation. So it doesn't have to have 6 colors plus your, joining color. Do it however you like, whatever you have at home. Worsted weight yarn, it could be from different brands. As long as it's worsted weight yarn, you should be good to go. If you want to make it with thinner yarns, use a smaller hook. It's going to be smaller, so you're probably going to want to do like a 7x7 or maybe even bigger than that. I don't know how much more you would need. This is a very basic tutorial. You can do this with any yarn. It's just going to be smaller. So right now, this square ends up being a 7-inch square. So by the time we join it, it's probably going to be an 8-inch square. So it's going to be 8x5. I'm sorry, 5x5. So 8 times 5 is 40. So it's like 40 inches. That's kind of what I wanted. I wanted like a lap blanket kind of thing for Miranda. So that's a good size. That's a little bit bigger than like, it's a bit, well, actually much bigger than like a receiving blanket, but those are like 36 by something. I don't know. So let's get started. Super easy, you guys. Hopefully this will be easier for you guys to follow along. So I'm using this crochet hook because I wanted one that was really big for a couple of reasons. I wanted to make it really airy and light, but I also wanted this to work up quickly. And not that it makes it work faster, but I'm going to have a bigger square, a bigger block, right? Instead of using like something smaller and smaller thing and you're end up with a granny square that's this big and now you need a ton of them. So I'm just going to grab my yarn. Now, there's a couple ways to start this. There's a couple ways to do everything that I'm going to show you right now. This is the way I did it for this particular thing. I've done it different ways for other projects. So I usually start with a magic circle. And what I do with the magic circle, see how it's going off, I wrap it around my fingers here. Okay, I'm going to close up a little more. So again, I went around my fingers here, go over, and just kind of let it go. And then I'm going to put my hook. This is an I hook. So this yarn takes an H or an I. Even if it didn't say it takes an I would still use a bigger hook than my yarn, just because I want it light and airy. But hopefully you guys will follow along. And then we stuck a hook in there and you just grab your yarn. So this is like a magic circle. This is the way I do it. I think a magic circle is technically a little bit different. The other thing you can do to start yours, if you don't like that magic circle, go ahead and, again, pretty much do the same thing I just showed you. You're going to wrap it around, pull up your yarn, and pull it tight. And now you can start making chains. And I would chain 5. 1, 2, wrap around, grab it, go back through. 3, wrap around, grab your yarn. 4, wrap around, grab your yarn. 5. Now, like I said, I have more in-depth tutorials. If you missed that, I will have the link for you guys to check that out. So then you're going to take this and you're going to stick it in the first chains. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully you can see the little knobby chain. What I do is I go in, and you can do this however you want with the chain. You know, this is why I don't do the chain, because I don't really like this. But you're just going to stick it in here so that you get in. There's like a bottom little knob here. Hopefully you can see like a ridge. And I'm pushing this in between that bottom ridge, and then there's going to be 2 little loops on your hook on the back side, or 2 pieces. You're going to yarn over, bring your yarn over your crochet hook and pull it through. Pull it through both loops on your hook. And now you've made a little circle that you would then do your granny square. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 double crochets into, okay? And keep going. But I'm not doing that, so you keep doing it into this little loop. And that's the center of your granny square. But I like to do, sorry, this string is in the way. I like to do a magic circle, so I'm going to take that apart. I'm just showing that for you guys. Like I said, it's not a beginner's tutorial, super beginner, but that's just how I do it. So again, magic circle is what I prefer. But if you made your chain loop, that's good too. All right, so to start off, it doesn't matter how you started this part, but we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're chaining 3. Then we're going to make 3 double crochet. So double crochet, and that's an English term, or the American, I guess, term, because I think other people call it treble at this point, even though for us a treble or a triple is a little bit different. But double crochet, so I'm going to wrap my hook around my loop, around the yarn, sorry. And this is another thing. People crochet differently. Some people crochet like this, overhand. Some people crochet kind of just different. This is the way I do it. So when I hold it, all I'm doing is swiveling this under. And we're going to pick up our yarn, yarn over, put it through our loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2. That's a double crochet. So wrap around. And I should use the words yarn over, because that's what you'll see. Yarn over, go into your circle, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull that yarn through the first 2 loops there, and then yarn over again, pull it through the next 2. So now you've done what's essentially 3 double crochet. That chain 3 is going to count as your first. Some people like to chain 2 when they do the double crochet beginner. Do whatever you like, okay? And on this one, I'm just going to chain 2, because I'm going to use 2 for my corners. And some people like to do 3. Some people do 1, which is odd, but I do 2 for this specific one. Now we're going to yarn over. We're going to do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. So hopefully this will be something you guys are interested in doing, because it works up a nice little project, and it's going to be really cute and quick. I mean, I'm telling you, I've whipped mine out in a couple days, but I've had nothing but time the last few days, which seems like all of us have had. All right, again, now we just finished those 3. So again, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, basically for the next corner, right? We just did the 3, we need a corner, next 3, corner, next 3, okay? So 3 double crochet. 1. And I'm probably not going to do every single round for you guys, just the first few, because after that it's very repetitive. It's just the same thing you're going to be doing over and over and over. This is the only, I think 1 through 3 might be the only ones that have something different. After that, it's the same as round 3, but you're just going to keep working. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So we just finished those 3. Again, chain 2 and 3 double crochet into the center. Again, to the center of your magic circle, into the center of your 5 loop, however you wanted to start that 5 chain loop. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm pretty much done with the red for now. And good thing, because it gave me a little nut here. Come on. All right. So last thing we're going to do, and like I said, it's all written up, is chain 2. 1, 2. We just chain 2. Now we're going to join this to the top of our first chain 3. If you chain 2, because that's what you like to do to start your double crochet, put at the top of the chain 2. Now, some people just poke it in wherever they feel like, and I want to make it very clear because this is another thing that's tough, especially when you're a beginner. Hopefully you can see this. We have a chain 2 space. This is the third double crochet. This is the loop right here. This is the top of that third double crochet. This is the top of the second double crochet. The chain 3, it's 1, 2, 3. You can kind of see it looks different. It's kind of weird. What I like to do is catch those top 2 where it makes like a V. So I poke this in here, and sometimes it's a little bit harder, sometimes it's a little bit easier, depending on how loosely or tight you stitched. So I like to poke, and sometimes it's harder, so like right now, I'm going to poke it in there, and I'm going to bring it down to catch that other one. So now I have those 2 top loops on here. Right? And all we're going to do is yarn over, pull that loop through those 2 loops, and then finally over the loop that you began with, right? The one that was already on your hook. And that is joining. Join it however you like. Well, especially right now when I show you guys how I yarn it off, I fasten off. That's another thing. Some people just pull it now that the loop is and we're done. They pull it out. I don't. I like to catch one more time. Well, first of all, I try to make it nice and snug to begin with, so this loop isn't that big. And then I yarn over, and I pull that through, and then I fasten it off. Just another extra, like, security in there. But again, you don't have to do that. If you want to just pull it through, you're fine. Do what you normally do or what you like to do. So now I'm going to tighten up my my magic loop. If you did a chain 5, you don't really have to tighten it up. It's just what it is, and you just have to weave in your ends. Okay, so that's it for the first round. Easy, right? We just started this little guy. So for the Mario blanket, or not Mario, well, I don't know why I said that. I was going to do a Mario blanket. The blanket I showed you guys in the picture there of the Minion Thor, it's just super cute because literally it's just a couple rounds, and then you, on the 3rd round or 2nd round, I can't remember. I think it's 2 rounds on those. This is when you start putting them together. And I did work on them like that way. And this one, I'm going to make all the blocks and then we're going to join them together. So it's not really join as you go because we were going to have all our blocks ready to go. But if you wanted to, you could do a block, start joining it to the next one as you go along, but I don't know. All right, so this is the other thing you can do. You can make all your 12 red centers. All right, now we have all our 12 red centers. Now I'm going to go in the orange, but I like to finish a block. I like to do a whole block. So I did the red, I'm going to go in orange, yellow, green. I'm going to finish it. But if you want to always just work on all red, okay, I did all my red centers. Now I'm going to add the orange, okay, I'm going to do all the orange. Now I'm going to do all the yellow rounds, But like I said, I like to complete them as I go. So now we're going to take our orange yarn, for me, and add it in wherever you like, in one of the corners though. So we have one of the chain 2 spaces, basically. I don't ever like to add it in the same space I left off. I don't know why, I just feel like it's, I don't know. So I'm putting my hook through. I'm going to bring in, loop that yarn so we can pull it through, and then slip stitch. So it just means yarn over, and I like to yarn over with both ends, the end and the piece that's going to the yarn ball, because I just feel like it secures it a little bit more. You don't have to do that. Do it however you like. Even at the end of this, if you wanted to fasten off by switching out to the next color, go ahead. I just don't do that, and it'd be kind of hard to rework that. Another thing some people do is at the end of the round, they turn this one over, and then they work the next round on the back side, and I'm like, why? Hopefully you can kind of see. This is the top side of our work. This is the back side, and I don't know if you can see the difference in the stitch. It doesn't look as pretty to me. The one in the back is the front. Hopefully you can see it maybe in these green ones. It's very bumpy and all that, and this is kind of like your nice, tall. I don't do that, but some people do that, and do whatever you like, but I'm not doing that. So we already pulled our yarn through here. We're gonna slip stitch it, so I need to yarn over, pull it through. And I still yarn over with both ends, but now I'm going to leave this end alone. And some people like to leave a really long end for your weaving in at the end because you got to weave those in. I am tight with my yarn, but I'm telling you it's easier if you leave a longer strand. So leave a longer strand, okay? So we're going to take the yarn, the end that's going to the yarn, and we already did 1, basically when I pulled it through. So this is number 2. 3, I believe. Did I? Hold on, that was my first chain. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, so now I'm going to yarn over, and I'm holding this piece of end of the string so I can kind of sew it in here because this will help keep it down also. So we did our yarn over, we're going to do 2 double crochet. So this is going to start our corners. This is like your foundation, obviously, to the rest of the square. So chain 2 after that. So we did 1 chain 3, that counts as our first double crochet. We did 2 double crochets. Now we're chaining 2 because my corners are 2. If your corners are 3, do 3, okay? However you like. 1, now we need another 3 double crochet in the same space, in that same chain 2 space from the earlier. I'm telling you, I can whip these out in like minutes because I just like go for it. Oh, and I did this without even talking about it. So see how quick? Okay. So now, in every corner where we do chain 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, after that, we're going to chain 1 and go to the next space. So sometimes the next space is a chain 1 space like this. After we're finished here, it's going to be, the next space is this space, and we're going to only do 3 shells or 3 double crochet. 1 shell, 3 double crochets, however you want to call it. So we need to chain 1 space in there. And then the corners, we're having a chain 2 space. Okay, so we're chaining 2 here, we're only chaining 1 here in between. So I chained 1, and I'm going to go to the next spot, which is this guy. And again, it's another corner. So we're going to do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. And since it's our corner stitch, that means we're going to do chain 1, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochet. 1, 2. So hopefully this will be fun for you guys. Hopefully you have yarn already at the house. If you don't, you know, like I said, you can order online. If you, I don't even know if the stores are open, to be honest, because supposedly only essential stores, and I don't know if that is considered Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann's, but at least here in California. So we're going to chain 1. We just finished that corner. And I'm actually interested in doing one with like thinner yarn because I have tons of thin yarn because I always think it's so pretty. Or, well, let's just finish this round and we'll talk. So I chain 1. So I'm going to go again, 3 double crochet because we're making our next corner. 1, 2, 3. And I am doing this a little faster because, I mean, we have tons of tutorials. I have tons of tutorials, and online there's so many. So chain 3, we did a 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then what comes next? We need a spacing before we get to the next corner, chain 1, right? And now I'm getting here. So this is where I left off my yarn from the last time. I'm going to hold it out here. So I'm going to loop, yarn over, go in for my loop, and I'm holding that red yarn so that it gets caught in there. That way I have less weaving to do. That kind of helps anchor it a little bit. 1, 2, 3 double crochet. We're almost done with this round, guys. It goes so fast if I, you know, not chit-chatting. 2, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochet. 1, 2, 3. So even though I want this to be a beginner's project, I don't want to insult your intelligence if you already know kind of what you're doing. So I'm going to show you the next round, and after that is literally that same round, but you just keep going, and then you're going to have, we'll talk about it in a minute, you're going to have more and more just to do, but it's really easy. So chain 1, and now again, we're going to slip stitch to the top of our first chain 3. Again, hopefully you can see it here, because this is something I was always confused about when I was first learning crochet. So this hole is the top of this 3rd double crochet, right? So this hole right here is the top of the 2nd double crochet, and then again here's our chain 3. So I'm going to go on the very top of it, and see, this time it was easier for me. I don't know why. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard, but just shove it in there so you get those 2 loops. Yarn over, pull it through the 2 loops, pull it through your chain 1. The loop that was on your hook. Okay, so that's another color I'm finishing off. Again, if you want to just pull this through, and what I mean by that, just pull it until it comes out. But I, again, like to give it a little bit of more security, so I pull it through, and that's it. At the very end of the project, or as you go along, you should be weaving in your ends as you finish your squares, because that way it's not like overwhelming at the end. You have all these squares that you need to finish weaving in your ends. So, or even when you finish this piece, and I'll talk about that in a minute too. But because you definitely want to go and do that as you're going along. All right, my next color is yellow. And you guys, I keep this stuff in this little purse my brother had bought me. He was living in Mexico for a while. And he bought me this huge like rattan purse. Like it looks like for a grandma, she's going out on the beach. Has a little clippy top, which is super cute. But I just have all the colors there. I just pull the colors when I need them and they're good to go. So really cute. So thank you, Armando. I have, yeah, it's I'm the baby of the family. So everyone's older than me, but my brother, the one that's only 2 years older than me, is Armando. Or Armando if you want. But okay, so we just finished round 2. I know it looks kind of like whatever. We're going to start round 3. So I'm gonna put your hook in wherever you like in one of the corners. It has to be in a corner space. I mean, well, it doesn't have to be honest. I guess if you want to start here, you could. I just like starting in a corner. So add it wherever you like, but you have to do the right thing, right, when you're there. So again, take the ends. I'm gonna pull it through, slip stitch. So that's a slip stitch. I think in the last one I left off one. Sorry, guys. So again, you can pull up 2 or 3 chains, however you like. So this is 1, 2, 3. I think the earlier one I counted the pull chain at the slip stitch as 1, and you can do however you like. But again, slip stitch, and then I did 1, 2, 3. So yarn over, same corner. We're gonna do 2 double crochet. We're almost done here. I hear someone coming in from the garage because the kids finally got to go outside. They're riding their bikes in the front yard. Okay, so sorry about that. So we just did the chain 3, 2 double crochet. Again, we're making our corner. So what's the next thing? We chain 2, right? 1, 2, and then we're going to yarn over and do 3 double crochet. 1. My husband's like, I asked him to come in quietly. It's fine. I'm like, no, it's not fine. 2, 3, because they always need something. All right. Again, we're gonna go, now we're gonna work in this first space. Now this is different than what we've been doing, right? We never had a chain 1 space earlier. Let me put this string to the back. So we're gonna chain 1, because that's where our spacing between anything that we're doing other than the chain 2 space that we have here in the corner. Chain 1, and all we're gonna do is put 3 double crochet in here. So that's a shell, if you wanna call it, however. 1, 2, 3 double crochet in that chain 1 space. And then to separate it from the next corner, chain 1, and again 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the same chain 2 space from round 2. 2, 3, 1, 2. What's kind of fun is once you get really good at crochet is like literally I'll be watching the TV, I won't even look at what I'm doing because it's just like I don't know. Oh, there goes that motorcycle guy that loves to drive through here around here, but around this time, it just becomes like second nature. You just feel it, you know? So we have 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Time for the next chain 1 space. We're gonna chain 1 and 3 double crochet, little shell right in there. 1, 2, 3. Now I hope you guys are, even follow along with me right now. Like if you have to pause in between the rounds, go ahead and print it out, the pattern from my site, from my blog, or however you want. Or if you have your own pattern that you like for granny squares, do whatever you like. Like I said, everyone has different ways. Some people like to turn it, like I said. Some people like to have no chain here. They just go from the one to the next one. Some people put 3 chains here, 1 chain, you know, whatever it is that you do, just do it the same every time. That's all I ask. Okay, so if you start with a chain 5 and a loop, do it that way every time. Don't switch out to a magic circle later because it's going to look different. So if you always like to do, you know, however you want to do it the same though, the same every time. So we already chained 1. And sometimes I'll forget, did I chain 1? It's pretty obvious. Let me go back. If you left off and hadn't chained 1 yet, can you see how that looks? There's like the top of the last double crochet is open here, basically. So we did not chain 1, chain 1. Okay? And then again, 3 double crochet. This is the last time I'm really gonna super duper explain it because it's gonna be the same for the rest of the rounds until round 6. Okay, 1, 2, so 3 double crochet, 2 chain 2, 3 double crochet, and now a chain 1, and then now 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space. And basically you're just going to continue this pattern. So I call it a pattern because it's very easy. It's going to be the same. So chain 1, again, 3 double crochet, 1, chain 2, 3 double crochet in that last corner. And this is our last corner, so we're going to come around to the next chain 1 space. We're going to do our 3 double crochet. And then attach it to the top of the first chain 3. So chain 1, 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space in between the shells here. Sometimes I'll forget that I was doing a corner and I move on and then it's just one piece and I'm like, this looks weird. I'm like, ah! So I had to tear it apart and just, you know, just pull it out and go back to that area and finish the corner. So 3 double crochet, chain 1, and again attach it to the top of your chain 3. And this time it looks like it's gonna be tight again. Ugh, I'm telling you. So I pop it through the one, and then I turn my hook upside down to omit that middle loop that just hangs around there, and try to only catch the other side. Where is it? And I don't know why I get this way sometimes. Like, it just, sometimes it's tight, sometimes it's not. But you want to catch 2 chains. It doesn't matter if it's the top 2 loops or the bottom and the side loop. It doesn't matter, but you want to catch 2 of them, because if you only take 1 loop, it's going to leave like a kind of a hole. So again, and this is really tight, I'm going to try to pull it through here. Ah, come on. Come on, buddy. And sometimes you end up splitting yarns like I'm doing right now. Just really pay attention and get it through. And look at this. So this one should be off. Sometimes this happens, so I want to show you. I just manually help it out to get off. Okay, now finally finish that up. Pull it through there. And that happens sometimes. I don't know why. All right. Again, I like to pull nice and tight and chain it through there. Okay, so that's the end of this round. Okay. So it might look a little bit wonky. It should be kind of square, but right now it's not. But that's okay. When you'll get there, you'll get there. So some people do a granny square just like this, just the 3 blocks, and then you keep going. Now you want to attach them or however, 3 rounds. The 4th round is going to be basically the same as the 3rd round. It's just going to have more chain 1 spaces you're going to work with. So now I'm going to switch out to my green, and I'm going to bring in my yarn. And I'll do this a little bit quicker because we've already done this so many times. So slip stitch, bring that in, chain 3. And like I said, this is all typed out on my blog, but again, chain 3, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in that same space for our corner. Okay, and then chain 1. So this time when you look at this, we have 2 chain 1 spaces, right, from the previous row. So it just keeps adding. Next time we're gonna have 3 chain 1 spaces, right? So these are 2, and then our corner, corner, 2, corner. Next time we're gonna have corner, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 spaces, corner. And the next one we're gonna have a corner, 1, 2, 3, 4 chain 1 spaces, corner. So in every chain 1 space, we're doing 3 double crochet separated by a chain 1. So that's why I'm saying it's very repetitive. I don't want to waste your time by going through every single row or round. So we already chain 1. We're gonna 3 double crochet our first little shell here. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Okay, we have another one. 3 double crochet, 1, 2. Oopsie. 3. And then again, we're back at our corner. So chain 1, right? We always leave a chain 1 space between motifs, basically, other than the 2 in the corner. So now again, I'm just going to do one more time. 3 double crochet. And then you work that same way around, right? 1, 2, 3, chain 2 for your corner. So wherever you have a corner space that you're working in, you make a corner. Wherever you have a chain 1 space, you make a 3 shell, or a 3 double crochet shell. So there we go. 2 shells separated by a chain 2 here. And on our way to the next chain 1 space, we only have the chain 1 between the corner and the next space. So chain 1, 1, 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, I'm gonna go get an embroidery needle or a yarn needle to show you how to, so chain 1, and then I would do a chain 3 in this space here, trapping that yarn, and then again corner, just the same, and then join it at the end to the top of the chain 3 space. Round, 5, same thing, add in your yarn, do your corner, chain 1, do the 3, do the 3, do the 3, and then your shell again, or your corner shell again. I'll be right back. Before I talk about finishing off, I'm just going to finish this round. So chain 1, 3 double crochet in that next chain 1 space, and again you would do the same thing. So the next round after we finish off here, add in your blue in whichever corner you like, chain 3, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in that same space, and keep going. And now you're going to have 3 chain 1 spots to put that away in. So here again, top of chain 3, so that wasn't too bad. I'm going to yarn over and pull that through. And now I'm going to fasten this off. And again, I like to pull it through, but do however you like. All right, so we just finished that 4th round. If you want to make a blanket with just 4 rounds and then the 5th round being the joining round, however you want to do it. Obviously, it's going to be smaller, like I said. So next round would be, again, blue. Add in your blue in whatever corner, and then after that, add in your purple, and then you're done with that one. And hopefully you can see how quickly it kind of worked up. But of course, I know what I'm, you know, I've been doing this for a long time. It might take you a little bit longer, but I don't think it's too much to ask to have 12 of these done within the next couple days, right? So today's Saturday, I'll probably post the next video on Monday. And then hopefully the next one after that on like Wednesday. We'll see. I have some other things coming up that I want to show you guys. So I'm gonna try to work that in. And then we'll do our joining video. And that's gonna be obviously the one that's gonna finish it up really, because as you join them, it's the same thing. It's gonna be very easy, you guys. So so I hope you guys try it out. So as far as finishing off, so what's funny about this thing, I told you it's an eye hook. It says 6.0. Eyes are usually 5.5. This is from AliExpress, and I have a couple different sets because they're super cheap. They're like $5-6. They come with like everything. They probably sell them on Amazon too, I think right now. It has stitch markers, all your crochet hooks, even from the smallest crochet to like the chunkiest. This is another one. This one was cheaper, and this one actually is not that great. So you kind of get what you pay for always. But because these are really hard, the sticks. But you know, it always comes with like a yarn, a couple of yarn needles, or just buy yarn needles. I like the metal ones better for projects, but some people like the plastic ones, you know, however you want to do it. The reason I'm showing you this is because you need to finish these ends, right? All these little bits that are just hanging out. And I usually start in the center. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter. But all you're going to do is take whatever end you have, put it into your yarn needle, and you basically have to weave it in and out, basically. So this is already kind of trapped a little bit, right? Because I did all the stitching on top of it. So what I'm going to do, I don't really like going out. I'm going to go back in, and then just kind of, you can weave it up into, like, let's say, oh, I'm going to put it up into this double crochet, and then I'm going to pull it through. Like, don't try to split your stitches, your yarns, should I say. Okay, so now that it's up there, I'm going to bring it down the next double crochet. And this is in the back, right? So it's not going to be as noticeable, but it shouldn't be too noticeable either way. And I'm just kind of going through the loop. So wherever there's a loop I can get into, and then I'm going to bring it back in here through all of the bases of those stitches. And if you want to do knots and things, you can do that. I don't really like doing that, so I'm not going to pull it too tight because I went into my double crochets. If I pull it real tight, it's going to be noticeable. You're going to drag your double crochets. So I didn't do it too tight, but when I get to the end here, and you can go back again, however you, up another stitch, whatever, but give it a little bit of a tightness so that when you cut it, it tucks itself back in. You see? It's gone. As intricately as you want to weave your ends in, do that. As loosely, you know, if you do it loosely, I mean, it's possible they're going to slip out later. The only other one I'm always concerned with my magic circle is that one. So I'll show you that one in the middle. If you're just doing a chain 5 loop, you would just weave in your end because it's already secure, right? It's secure to the first chain of your chain 5. But for a magic circle, if I keep pulling this, I can pull it super tight. Some people have their granny squares where it's kind of open in the middle. Pull it as tight as you like. I pull it tight. I don't know why. I like it to be just super snug. So since it came out of here, what I'm going to do is go into the bases of all these. I'm just going to follow the loop. And I'm just going to go into the bases. How the heck? Hold on. Here we go. And sometimes it takes a little finagling, but I'm going to go in there. I might pull it out here because I can't just go throughout the whole circle. And I'm going to keep pulling it tight as I go. Go in, go in. And at some point, I make a knot because I like for it to stay. But if you can't do that, like I'm tying it here, just go back in the other direction. And that should really hold it down. I did have a blanket that had really pretty, it was like granny squares but with flowers, and they started opening up and I'm like, what happened? So I don't know what happened to those, to be honest. I had to, it's probably the stitch because it happened very often. I've never had that happen before. So I'm like, something's wrong. So again, I'm just going to the very bases of all these, and I'm just going to come back out the other side. So we went one direction, we came back in the other direction, so that should keep it tight. Again, keep it kind of snug, like pull it up, and so when you cut it, it just pulls itself back into the work. And that one's gone. So again, put in all your ends. I would do it now. I would not wait till the very end of the project because you're going to have so many ends to weave and it's going to be like kind of off-putting. So I'm going to weave in all the ends to all of my 12 these guys. Work on your 12. In the next video we're going to make 13 of the other colorway and I hope if you have any questions, leave them here. I tried to say everything I wanted to say in the video. What's kind of funny with the crochet along and join as you go, I'm like, oh, that's fun. There are blankets called viral blankets, and I'm like, ugh, or like shawls or like patterns, and I'm like, nah, I don't know. We want to stay away from that right now. But you know, let me know if you guys are interested in doing one of those viral types, or even like whatever you like, you know, other items. I like blankets. I mean, there's prayer shawls maybe we can work on. A prayer shawl if you're a praying person. It's nice. It's still chilly in the morning, so it's nice, something you can throw over your shoulders. We can definitely do that. That's kind of one of those quicker projects too, and maybe I can find a pretty pattern that's out there already. I don't know, I can design one myself. This is easy. I put this together like in my sleep, no problem, because it's very basic. The pattern's been out forever and it's easy to do. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys are staying healthy and staying inside, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.